I'm Anthony Gerard. I'm 67 years old. I'm fortunate that I'm a social worker, and my story, our story really, began about 20 years ago. Our daughter came home one day and she was weeping, and she told me that she was gay. I say unfortunate because my immediate reaction was to hug her and love her, and I told her that we would love her possibly even more. And the story started there. It wasn't easy for us as a family to come to terms with it. In fact, I would say the first 4 or 5 years were rather painful. I managed to mediate with the rest of my family, and we came to terms with the pains that our daughter had to go through, because although now she has a very stable and wonderful relationship, it wasn't always the case, because she went through a torrid time with one relationship, and it was so important for her to have her family with her when she went through this experience. It does get better, and I'm living proof. As a family, we are living proof that it does get better. Like many Maltese families, in our sitting room, we have photographs of all the family. We're dating back from grandparents and the marriage of grandparents and parents and all these things, and they're all. And one day I was sitting down looking at them. I said, "There's one frame missing." So I got hold of a photograph of my daughter and her partner, and I had it enlarged, and I went down and bought a beautiful frame, and I put it with the rest of the frames of the family. And there they were. They are part of our family. They celebrate with us. They celebrate all the feasts, Christmas, Easter, birthdays. They are part of us. They're a very important part of us. And my message to anybody who is hearing this experience is: take courage, do not be afraid, it does get better.
Growing up with a gay brother was just as normal as growing up with any other sibling. Basically, we fought, we played, there was nothing really abnormal about it. Unfortunately, after a few years in our teens, we kind of drifted apart. Obviously, no one really realized what really had happened. At age 17, he decided to tell my mother that he was gay. My mother was quite destroyed. For me, it was like, well, it suddenly made sense why he acted that way and why we had this not so close relationship anymore. Obviously, I felt guilty simply because I was his sister. I should have been there. So it was unfortunately a bit of a uncomfortable situation where I didn't know what to do, how to act. A few years had passed and still didn't know what to do. Eventually, it did get better because I just realized, well, I'm his sister. I should just be there for him when he needed me, and that's it.
So it's very difficult at the beginning. Obviously, I think the first reaction is denial, thinking, I could have seen this coming, but I didn't. How come I missed it? Thinking of the impact of how are others going to see this, the other siblings. As a parent, all these concerns come to mind. How am I going to tell my parents? How is it going to be seen by my colleagues, my friends? The beginning is very much shame and blame. I blamed myself a lot. It was like, what have I done wrong? Have I failed as a mother? A lot of self-doubt. What could I have done any different? Where did it start? Could it have been from pregnancy? So there was a lot of existential doubt, queries, blame, and I think this is all part of the process one goes through as a parent. Unfortunately, one becomes so self-absorbed and locked in my own pain that it kind of deflects from looking at the child's pain, but understandably. So I think as a parent, it's a very difficult process because we have dreams, we have expectations, lots of things we had planned for the future that kind of went slightly off course now. There's so much to grow from in realizing that these issues makes one believe that there's a deeper level of love that one can give. I remember hearing that Cher, the singer of Sonny and Cher, had said, I thought I was such an accepting and liberal mother until her daughter Chastity said as well that she was gay. And suddenly when it hits home, the story is different. But it does get better.
Hi, my name is Matt. I'm 19 years old and I'm a university student, and my sister is gay. I've always been supportive and somewhat indifferent to the concepts of a homosexual sister, but unfortunately, other people aren't. Other people always tiptoed around the topic of homosexuality and spoke to me as if one of my relatives was terminally ill or criminally insane. They always used the word gay as an insult, and it always had highly negative connotations to it. I happen to be accustomed to the concept of homosexuality, though unfortunately others aren't. It doesn't matter though. She's been with her girlfriend for over 2 years and she's happier than ever. You just have to remember that it gets better.